Welcome back to the channel. I have had quite a break from doing the cars, but what I've been doing is got my air tanks all set up. So I've now got 2 tanks set up in tandem. I've bought an additional 3 compressors. There's a 3 horsepower here, a little one there and a little one there. So I've got 4 in total, all ready to run my sandblaster. So I've got a pressurized sandblaster there that I can start cleaning the underside of the car up when I'm ready. I've just been working on this rear panel. I've managed to get 1 bumper support off, chassis rails on both sides, and I've just started to unpick the inner of the back panel, because what I've decided is, because I'm going to have to make a repair to the floor section there and that inner panel, and also there's a little bit down there that I can just sort of shave off. A lot of these were blocked with seam sealer as well, and when I started drilling through it's really rusty, so I freed that off now, and I'm just going to take this net skin out, and from basically the corner to the other side I'm going to put a new lip in between and sandwich it between the 3 skins, and I'll fix the boot floor to that, so I'll be able to clean up all the rust and make sure there's nothing inside there, and then we can look at then repairing all the outside afterwards. That's where it goes up to. You can see the lip, that's where the boot floor was. So it's not going to be exactly the same, but it'll be nice and strong. I don't really want to do a new boot floor right the way up and up there, just in case there's anything that goes wrong. So after a bit of time I've managed to get most of that out. I had to heat up with a blow lamp to burn away at the under seal and the seam sealer, which you can see on the black there. Benefit was I did leave it so that I could get off this outside bit as well, so pretty much clean that up. I've left the majority of the back panel spot welds in place. Obviously I've gone through in a couple of positions so I can decide at which point I want to do this, but I think I'll probably end up drilling them right through so that I can spot weld or plug weld from the outside onto the L, and then from the inside from this onto the L, so it's sort of sandwiched in between, which I think is going to work best, and they'll be in all the same positions as well. But I just wanted to leave myself the scope, because I'm not doing this bit yet. I just wanted to know where I was up to, and I'd still love to be able to get a new back panel, so I will do the inside first, and I'll do all of the inside first before I plug weld the back in. So just sort of hoping for the best. Need to get that bumper mount off now, so it's like that side, and then just cut this back up to there so that I can, in fact I'll probably just do it to there actually. There's no point in cutting into all that, there's nothing on with that. So I'll go from there to the same place on the other side. Just been doing a little bit more off camera. I've actually been picking a bit at the body kit as well, the Panique body kit that I'm going to be putting on it. So let me show you. So the back panel, I've took out the little lip that sat oh, excuse me, that sat underneath there, which was the boot floor, because I had a rusty section there and I wanted to get to the back of that, and I also just wanted to replace it from one side to the other. As I think I said at the beginning of the video, this is about a week on now. I've chopped out a section for where the chassis legs are going to go, if you have a look. And the idea is the chassis is going to go into there. I'm going to cap off the back, drill some holes in for spot welds, and put a probably like an M16 nut in there, maybe an M14 nut, which will be enough for a rollover. Now, I didn't at first drill all the way through to the back panel, but I decided, because I've got to do some repair work, I may as well spot weld this or plug weld it from the back, all in the original positions. Got repair to do there, and quite a bit over there. I've drilled it all the way out just in case I can get hold of a new back panel, but it's looking unlikely. I've got to do a clean up there as well, and there's some surface rust there. Everything else looks okay. So what I'm going to get on with now is making a piece to slip in between these two pieces and just stick out and join up there and there, and then that way I've got somewhere for my floor to sit onto. Once that's in, I'm going to extend the chassis legs into that section as well, or I may put the floor in first. But in an ideal world, I'd like to weld underneath here, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to slip the floor under. But ideally I'd like to butt weld that, and then like I say, I'm going to cap the top. So if I can get that rail inside and then the top piece after the floor's in, maybe. We'll see how it goes. I've just roughed one side in. My bending machine's not big enough to go all the way across, so I'm doing it in two parts. I've had to use the shrinker because there's a little bit of a bow in the back panel, and I've had to go around the bumper mount there. I was going to cut it out, but I thought I'll just add that little bit of extra strength in for when I put the bracket back in, and that's what the holes are there for. I need to weld all the way across there. You can see from factory the drain hole's actually blocked up on both sides, so I'll try and unpick that out. Just got to remake this side now, so we're sort of mold gripped in place. So I'm going to make this side, and then I'll lower it down and make up some chassis legs, just make sure that they fit into these holes easily enough before I commit to welding that, because it's going to be really difficult to open that up a bit more afterwards. So I'll get this side made and do some chassis legs. Right, so I've got the other piece made now. Again, bent round the what will be the bumper mount, and I need to again check that bit. I've put the split where this piece has got to be fitted in. So what I need to do is make sure I've got the chassis rails in before I weld this in, and then I'll get that piece welded in, and then I can put these in finally, because otherwise linishing back that area is going to be an absolute nightmare with this bit in the way. So I want to get that bit in first, but first I want to make sure my chassis legs fit. So this bit that I'm on now is working out to be a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. I thought this was going to be an easy bit, but I don't think there are going to be any easy bits on this. So we'll make the U sections for the chassis legs and see how I can get it fitting. Right, so you saw there, that was a little bit of messing around back and forth, but managed to get it in now. Matches quite nicely across. Probably went a little bit over the top, to be honest with you, but I wanted to make sure I got the weak vents. Also went over that bit and there's a little bit there, so I'll slip in the perhaps I need to, what I'll do, I'll drill some holes in there, probably 3 holes, ready for, in fact I might even be able to get my punch through ready to put the piece in. I've cut that out as well, made that a little bit wider. Got a little lip now plug welded in all the way around. I don't think I'm going to bother linishing back because I need to touch up a couple of welds once I'm ready to seal the back panel on. Now I'm going to make some chassis legs. So as you saw, I squared it up, got everything nice and flat. So the floor should just sit on there nicely. Just squeeze that in and just got a little tiny lip there which just wants tapping down, but that'll happen with the floor, so that's no problem. Alright, so I did make myself a 2mm chassis extension. I'll show you what I was going to do. So obviously this is a chassis extension and I was just going to slot it through like that, but I've decided I'm going to make longer ones and sleeve it all the way from the back there, sleeve it all the way across and over, and then I'll just cap the top. And what I'm also going to do is actually lower it down so it sits on the floor, so I can spot weld the floor to it from underneath. So that's my new idea. Let's see how it goes. I'm going to call it a night now, but this is where I'm up to. Just got some bolts ready and some nuts over there ready to drill through the back here, so I can put some nuts into this chassis leg. Chassis legs for the near side is pretty much in place where it's going to be. I just need to copy that for this side, cap it. The floor fits quite nice, so I've actually decided to drop this down to touch the floor and then I'll just cap the top. I was going to take this lower as well, but I'm going to keep it up and spot weld, so I'll cut round there both sides and spot weld that. So I'll pick up tomorrow.